All right, guys, this is Mrs. Eccles, the bestest teacher in the whole wide world. I know you've been waiting to hear my beautiful voice for a long time now, and I'm here. So we're going to be working on 4.NBT.5. The 4 means that this is a 4th grade standard. So this was just a review video. This is not me teaching you, just reminding you. If you need a reteach, I'll find some other videos for you to watch. So multiplying with multi-digit numbers is what we're going to be going over. So what I wanted to do is first come up with an example, and I want you to do this on your own. So I want you to pause the video now, and I want you to do example number 1. So please pause the video. All right, so now I'm going to step through how I would have hoped that you would have addressed this problem. So first thing we do is we look at our 6 and we multiply it with our first digit, which is our ones value, 8. So 6 times 8 is 48. We take the 4 and we drop it down below, or sorry, we take the 8 and we drop it down below, and then we carry the 4 above the 3, because that's going to go and move over to our tens value. So that when we do 6 times 3, then we're going to do 18, and then we add in this extra 4 here to make 22. We put our 2 down here for the ones value of the 2, and we carry the tens value of the 2 above the 1. So now we're multiplying the 6 times the 1, and that is 6, and then we're adding the 2 to that, which makes 8. And so the answer that you should have for your final answer is 828. If you did not carry the numbers like I did, or if you did not write neatly enough, those are some reasons that it could affect what you're doing. So please slow down, write neatly. If using graph paper is something you like to do, then great, use that. I've also had people that take the lined paper and they use it sideways, like here's the lines, and usually it's going the opposite direction, but they turn their page this way so that they can put numbers in each column. So that is also an option. All right, we're going to do another example together, and this example is 659 times 24. And while you're working that out, I'd like you to pause the video to work it on your own. I want to see what you remember, and then we're going to come back and we'll go over the answer. So please pause the video now. All right, let's look how you should have gone over this to find this answer. So now we're dealing with a 3-digit number times a 2-digit number. And so we have an extra step that we're going to have to do. We're going to treat the 4 the same way we did when we did multiplication with 1 digit on the bottom. And we're going to do 4 times 9, which is 36. And we're going to carry that 3 above the 5, the next number over. Then we're going to multiply the 4 times the 5, which is 20, and we're going to add in the 3 to make 23. The 3 goes on the bottom, and the 2 floats to the top. And then last but not least, we're going to do 4 times 6, which is 24, and then add in our 2 to make 26. Now the reason I'm using this grid paper to make it really clear is because I need to talk to you guys about the next step. The next step that we do is multiplying with the number 2. And again, we need to remember where to put things. This is our tens value. And just a reminder of how you might have learned it before, they might have said, think of it as you're doing 20 plus 4, and that you're multiplying both of these times 659, and then adding that amount together. Now, if we're multiplying it times 20, that means the ones value would be a 0. And that's the concept behind what I'm about to show you. But just to remind you, well, I don't know how to word this properly for you. I'm sorry. This is my first video back, and I'm flying by the seat of my pants. So we need to do 2 times 9, but we can't put it in this one's value because this is 20, not 2. So we need to put in the ones value as 0, and what I like to do is just make it a happy face. That way I don't think my 2 times 9 is part of that 0. Because sometimes you might have something like 2 times 5 here, and you would put 0 for your 10, and you would forget that this 0 was your placeholder for the 20, for the 0 of the 20, not for doing 2 times 5. I hope that made sense. I'm going to do another example where that's going to be an issue, so I want to show you why. I want you to make this into a happy face. I know my daughter, when I taught her, she does it as a star. I've got some people that just put an X or just leave it blank. But I find filling in something there is always very helpful, and since we like to put zeros, we can make it a smiley face, and then we know it's not the 0 from multiplying. Alright, so now we're going to do our 2 times our 9, because we're doing just like we did with 4 times all the top numbers. We're starting with the 2. 2 times 9 is 18, and that 8 goes below where the 2 is. So 18, we carry the 1. Now, don't get confused with having your 3 there. You can cross out your numbers from above so you don't get confused. So we carry our 1 from our 18, and we move on, and the next thing we do is our 2 times 5. 2 times 5 is 10, plus my 1 is 11, and I put my 1 and carry my 1. And the last but not least, I'll do my 2 times my 6, which is 12, and add my 1, which is 13. Make sure you're lining up your numbers really nice, and now we're going to add. So we have to add the 20 times and the 4 times, because this represents times 4, and this represents times 20, and we're adding them together now. So we're just going to add down where we do 6, and then, so 6 plus a smiley face is 6, and then 3 plus 8 is 11, carry the 1, and then we have 8, and then we have 5, and then we have 1. And you count from the end, 3 over and a comma, and we have 15,816 is our answer. So if you got that answer, awesome. If you did not, then you're going to want to keep watching for one more example, okay? If you got it right, then you can go ahead and move on to doing the next video. Or the mini quiz, whichever you're on. All right. So here's example number 3. Again, I want you to try this on your own using the skills that you either have learned before that I just mentioned again. Please pause the video now, and then when you're done, we'll come back and we'll go over it together. Pause the video. Okay, so first things first, we're going to multiply. Oh darn, I didn't do the one I wanted. Okay, that's okay. We're going to multiply 5 times 4, which is 20, carry the 2. Then we're going to do 5 times 8, which is 40. Plus 2 is 42. Carry the 4. Okay, I can't get the 4 to work. Hold on, let me pull this down. There we go. And then 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 14. Carry the 1. And then 5 times 5 is 25, plus 1 is 26. Now we're indenting over 1, so don't forget to give me a smiley face here. Now what I meant to do, and I'm a screw up, so sorry, I meant to give you an example where it was going to be 2 times 5 or 5 times 2 or something like that where you'd have a 0, but I messed up and I'm so sorry. So instead, it's going to just be remember to put the smiley face. So 4 times 2 or 2 times 4 is 8. We're not carrying any numbers. Cross out the old ones. 2 times 8 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. And then 2 times 5 is 10, and there's nothing up there, so I'm just going to make it 10. Now, usually you'd want to draw that line, but we're not ready to draw a line. Now we need to do the 1 times everything. This time I need to make 2 smiley faces. The reason being is that this is like multiplying times 100, because this is really the 100 value, right? So these 2 zeros represent if I were multiplying it times 100. So I'm doing 1 times 4, 1 times 8, 1 times 2, and 1 times 5. Now I can add all of it together. So 0 plus smiley face is 0. 2 plus, and make that line dark if you need to, 2 plus 8 is 10, plus smiley face is still 10. Carry that 1. That's 15, carry the 1, 12, 20, carry the 2, 6, and 6. And counting 3 from the back, put a comma. Your answer should have been 660,500. So hopefully this was a good review for you. If you're still struggling, please make sure that you watch some other videos that I have tagged in my playlist. All right, guys, thanks so much. Have a great day, and I can't wait to see you in school. Bye.